but it's worth it in the end.
Wow. Another question came in from the chat. If you have a married couple and a house was purchased, but one spouse is not on the deed, can this spouse take a first time homeowner course for their future home? That's an interesting question. Yeah.
Yes. And also it depends on which state. But as long as if they're buying a house and you got to live in it, guys, usually when you take these first time home buyers courses, you cannot just buy, it's not for investment, it's for living in. Okay. So they're going to ask you, have you had a home in the last 3 to 5 years? If that person is not on the deed, most likely they will still qualify, but you're going to have to live in that. And let me tell you something, they will check to make sure you're living in it. They've hired me before to drive by houses and say, who live in this house?
Oh, wow.
Hmm. So
Wow.
yes, check with your state person. And here's another clue, guys. Real easy. I know I'm talking Google, but Google just give you everything. Type in first time home ownership programs for Louisville, Kentucky, for Nashville, Tennessee, and then call them and talk to them and say, what is your criteria for this? Can my husband buy? He's never owned. He's not on my deed. Does it work? Then they will tell you if you can qualify for that program or not. But I've actually closed a few that way.
How because normally I guess the HUD houses, I'm stereotyping now, are the ones that people are most interested in doing the flips with, right? Is that how it works?
Guess what? Investors don't get their hands on those first.
Oh.
No, HUD offers it to true owners first. You have to agree. Now, this is different from the Good Neighbor Next Door program.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
have to agree to live in that house for at least a year. And a lot of the times they're not in the best of neighborhoods, but sometimes you have to kind of take a bite in order to build that wealth. But perfect example, I had a brand new, I couldn't even believe it. In Denver, townhome in Denver downtown that was a HUD home and was able to buy. So if you're willing to take on a project and you can financially, because you still have to qualify, okay? So don't just think that this goes hand in hand, guys. This is a puzzle piece. If one puzzle piece is missing, you can't complete it. You have to have the lender, you have to have the money, you have to have the house, and you have to have the realtor. This is a puzzle piece. One of those missing or is out of kilter, you're in a
Yeah.
lot of trouble.
Wow, 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 wow. So okay, so what's the greatest advantage? Well, okay, well let me ask let me ask this a different way. Foreclosure homes.
Mhm.
Is that the best way to enter the flip business, or because I hear that a lot as well?
Well, it used to be, but times have changed. And my company deals with REO, bank owned properties. They're called Carrington Mortgage. And that's how they got started. They would service these foreclosures and then they would have them in their inventory. And it used to be that you could get a good deal on them. But now, housing all over the world is in such high demand, you're not always going to find a deal. And they're not always the cheapest
Mm.
because everybody is doing that. And there's so many investors now after watching all these shows. You're really going to be competing. That's why I say if you're going to do that, you really need to be in a great investors group and have a mentor to do that until you get very savvy at it. So no, REO is not always the way. Let me tell you why. I had one that I can't even believe this, but this was cracking me up. It literally was sticks holding a roof. And this was in Sunland, California. And I got there and they assigned it to me as the agent. And they was like, okay, go out there and market this thing. And I'm like, market what? Like, because it was nothing but sticks and a roof. And I would not even walk in the home because I was afraid that I would fall through.
Oh
Um,
wow.
but that house was priced, and this is a foreclosure, guys, with no doors and no windows. They priced it at like $599, and it went for $899. It's not for the faint of heart. A developer bought it because he could. Now, in that case, they will look at it. But they didn't just give it. I mean, they made me take all offers. I had like 50 offers on that house, and I had to present those all to the bank.
Why though? Is that because of the neighborhood it was in, or
No, it was a stick house. And it was like, it was in LA, any piece of land that you could get. They could buy it. It was zoned to have R2, which means residential 2. So all the investors were like, we can build a duplex.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
The potential of what it could be.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was worth it to them because in California, if you're paying $8.99 and you turn that into a beautiful piece of art, you now have a $2 million home.
Wow. You mentioned the duplex kid. Shout out to him for doing it the right way. But is the duplex game a game that a lot of us need to look closer at?
No. He was in a condo.
It was. Oh no, I have two. I have one I have several that's bought duplexes.
Oh, I thought it was a condo.
Well, I have so many that
Mama Noise.
Hair's long, but
respect my game. Respect my game.
Condo kid had 2 bedrooms and rented out one. But duplex, if you can get it, or a property that is zoned where you can put an R2 on it, like the granny pod.
Right.
Perfect. Yes.
But those are hard to get though, right?
I advise that.
Those are hard to get though, right? I mean, those are hard to find.
They are hard to find, but that's not impossible. But let me tell you a little secret. FHA, which is a government loan that allows you to only put down 3.5% for down payment. That's what it's for. First time home ownership. You can buy up to a 4-plex with that money. There are limits to every state and every area on how much you can use your FHA loan for.
Right.
You are in LA, it's over $1 million if you're buying a property that has 4 units, a fourplex. But you can, what they do is, as long as you're living in one and you can show that you can have income, a certain amount of income in those other 3 or other 1 or other 2, triplex included, they can include that within your loan as income, and they can help you with that with the FHA.
Wow.
Almost. I'm telling you, slim pickings in LA, but I am seeing more in Florida and in Louisville. And here, let me tell you another little secret. Old Louisville right now, y'all may think it's kind of crazy in LA and Louisville right now. It shocked me when I went home. But right now, you can get a house for still in the West End.
Oh, yeah.
At some point,
there's no question.
It's going to come back around. And who is that going to benefit?
Wow.
Let me ask my question before Mr. Noise.
You know what? It's not my fault you have a mic issue. Go ahead.
We know that Zillow's the enemy. So who is on your side? Who's the advocate?
Let me tell you, there are a couple of good sites out there that I will even though they're not my company, that I think are excellent. And I am a Redfin partner. I partner with Redfin, so I do help them when they need help with buyers. But Redfin, that website right there is fire because they have done their homework. And you don't have to use their agents, guys. Now, let me tell you a little secret about these websites. Just like I told you, Zillow. When you're interested in a home, they're always going to put their agents out there first.
Okay.
Okay. So you don't have to do that. You can even use it if you're working with a realtor right now. But your realtor will also be sending you homes. Once you've defined what you're looking for, we have this thing called the MLS. That gets fed to all of these sites. Zillow, Redfin, Villa, all the stuff. So any app that you can use, I just don't use Zillow. But I do highly recommend Redfin. But just know that they're going to be like, if you're interested in this house, we're going to send you to one of our agents. And you don't necessarily always want that.
How does that even work? Like, okay, so a house goes for sale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is every agency privy to that house?
Yes.
Or is it exclusive to somebody?
Unless the seller wants it to be exclusive to just one company, which nobody wants that because everybody wants their home sold. But you're talking maybe big stars may sometimes want to do that. I only want it to be sold within your company because I don't want it really advertised out there. Like, there's a special.
That's my house and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But as realtors, our associations agree to partner with one another. So I have my California license, I have my Florida license, but I have access to all the things on the market. And let's face it, this is a digital world today. In 2006, you did not have that access, but
Right.
now you have just as much access as I do. Sometimes you see the house before I do.
Wow.
Because that's how fast it filters down.
I figured that was right, because there are times when I will look online and I'll see a house or go around to different housing websites and all of them will have the same house.
Yes, it's the same house. They're all just trying to sell it because there are different parties, and this is very important to talk about. Who represents you? Well, you are a buyer, and say you come to me and you say, hey, I really like you. I want to hire you. I would like you to be my agent. I am a buyer's agent for you. Okay. That means I represent you in this deal. And I'm going to ask you to sign a form called buyer's agency so that you don't go running off to every little agent after I've done all my hard work.
Okay.
And we are going to work together. Okay. I mean, we got to eat too. It's like me trying to tell you to go to work and your boss is not going to pay you for 30 days. I don't get paid until we close. But also, you don't pay me, Mr. Buyer. The seller pays me. So you get me for free 99 until we close. Okay?
Free 99.
Free 99.
Wow.
So I am your buyer's agency. It is my job to make sure that you are covered on all of your information, helping you get educated about that house, sending you reports, sending you listings, writing up the contract, negotiating, helping you with your inspections, helping you with your lender, helping you with your appraiser. That's my job. Now, that's a buyer's agent. A seller's agent is, hey, Laura, I like you. I need to sell my house. And I like your signs. So I want to put your sign in the yard. I am your seller's agent.
Oh, okay.
So I represent the seller. I help you get the house ready to put on the market. I help you with contractors. I market the house. I hire a drone. I hire the photographer. I get it all together. I hold it open houses. I do all those things. I am working for the seller. So you have a seller's agent and you have a buyer's agent that come together for a transaction. And in some cases, it's called a transaction broker or a dual agent.
Okay.
Say like, I have that open house, right? It's my listing. You come in and you don't have a buyer's agent. And you're like, but I like you and I want to try to use you. Well, first off, I have to ask the seller, Mr. Seller, is it all right for me to represent both of you? And now I represent the transaction and no longer just the seller and no longer just the buyer. I don't do that, guys, because it's really hard psychologically to not give someone more weight. My mama taught me well. Okay. You psychologically, you don't think that that little family's so cute. I'm going to see what I can do for them. You can't do that. You have to take yourself out of that. So in that, unless it's a bank-owned home where the bank is like, we don't care, Laura, bring them in. So it could be my buyer or it could be someone else's buyer in that situation and they don't mind. But personally, on a real transaction with what I call real people, I'll just hire my partner who will be completely the buyer's agent on that situation. They will, even though they're my partner or whoever I bring in, we keep it separated and we are not benefiting one another. We are benefiting the transaction.
So at that point, you kind of head to head, like you're saying, you're trying to get the best sell that you can get, and the partner is trying to get the best buy that you can get. So there's a negotiation of sort.
Everything is negotiable.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting.
Now, I will tell you, and I'm just being very honest, guys, in this market right now, please don't come to me at a house that's priced at $325,000. But Zillow said it was $250, so we're gonna write an offer for $250. No, ma'am, we're not doing that. We're not doing it because if I can prove to you that house is worth at least $350 by looking at the comps in the area, what is a comp? It has to be apples to apples. So if you have a house in the middle of Louisville, Kentucky, I can look back. And it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a basement. I have to look for other three bedroom, 2 bath basement houses within a mile radius
Mm-hmm.
up to a year ago. Now, that's how things get appraised, and that's how I'm not an appraiser, but that's part of my job to do that.
This is why you got to watch Love It or Listed, man.
Telling you, because I'm telling
Love
you,
It or Listed. You'll learn that on Love It or Listed. You learn that.
so they just come in with their cute selves and they fluffy stuff. I'm gonna pay $1 million. Okay. No, we don't do that. So I have to prove to you. So yes, there sometimes you can get a house for less. I did have one recently where we got it for 10,000 less, just because the seller was like, I gotta go. My job, I can't stay here. And the house was kind of sitting a little bit because people were afraid of solar power. That was the only thing they held it back. And he was like, listen, lady, I will pay the solar power if you buy this house. And that's what he did.
Wow.
But in this market, you truly, truly, truly need to understand that the asking price, if it's not crazy and I can justify for it, you shouldn't be offering less.
Here's a question that I think everybody would love to know the answer to this. Some people may think they know the answer, but I have a feeling the answer is slightly different than what we think. Why, in the name of all that is righteous and decent in the world, is the price of the 3,500 square foot home in California so much different than the 3,500 square foot house in Texas, which is so much different than the 3,500 square foot house in Kentucky, which is so much different than the $3,500 square foot house in Mississippi?
The dream. You do not get the ocean of Santa Monica, Los Angeles, Long Beach in Louisville, Kentucky.
So I'm paying for the beach?
Oh, you paying for the desire of where that is.
Yeah.
It is area based. The demand comes from what you are offered in that. Texas is a little different beach. You may a different beast. You don't necessarily have a lot of ocean there. You do have a lot, but you still can. Texas is so big, it take you 3 days to drive through it.
Right.
And true, Chad is right. Cost of living as well. So it's the same situation where your cost of living ties into your desires and your wants. Now in Louisville, you got the Ohio River. Let's face it, guys. Everybody liked living on that river, which I never understood, because every year that thing would flood, and I'd be like, "Yeah,
Every
it's
year.
going again." What are you doing? Last year it was gone. Now it's going again. But it's desire for that area.
So whatever that area got popping, that's going to determine whether or not I'm, so because you're close to Disney World and resorts and it's because the California home
The weather.
Wow.
Oh, the weather. The weather. You don't get cold there. I mean, there are some chilly days, but people were laughing at me. And I'm like, oh, it's 73. I'm cold. And people are like, please, girl, this is -0 here. But the benefits of that, and also technology and jobs. Silicon Valley was so hot because they had the tech jobs.
Right.
So you see, it's just the demand for the area and what people are willing to pay. Because guess what? I don't care what an appraiser says a house is worth. What the true value of the house is what the seller and the buyer agree to and say, yeah, it's worth that.
See, when I hear stuff like this, it reminds me of what's happening now with NFTs. Like, the money is as real as we make it. You know what I mean? The price is as real as we agree to it. Like, and I get it, but it's like, man, that's a crazy concept of thought that because we all like good weather, or what is perceived as good weather. Because I would argue, listen, yeah, I get the weather, but I also get the earthquake. I don't want that. I should probably not have to pay for that.
Right, but in Kentucky, you get the tornadoes.
You get the tornadoes. I don't want to pay for that either.
Both. Now, thank God I did not go through a massive earthquake, but I went through a couple of those rolling ones there, and I'm telling you, I was a little girl. This was not okay with me.
Yeah.
But also, LA has become, and places like New York too. I mean, everybody wants to live the dream on those places, but it's become unlivable to me because if it takes me 2 hours to get across town, I had friends there from Louisville and I couldn't see them all the time. Why? Because it would take me 2.5 hours. And really, if there was no traffic, it would take me 30 minutes. That's not worth it to me.
Right.
To do that. But to someone else it is. I'll just Uber. That's a big thing.
Well, but you know what's scary here to me, and when I think of homes here in DFW, here in Texas, I think often of the floodplains, because every time the news comes on, there's flood. There's been a flood, and you're like, okay, like, right now we're in a townhome complex, but if you're on a lower level, that's that water can run like right into your front door. And I'm going, man, every time I think about, us going the next step into a home to purchase, I'm going, okay, but what about that area? Because the next thing I know, I see on the news and they got some type of creek bed or something that rises behind it or whatever, and then washes away the backyard. And I'm going, what is going on?
And guess what? That's people here. You just brought up a great point. And I saw that question earlier, so we'll go back to it. But I want to answer your question. Home ownership, guys, is not just your mortgage. Okay. It is maintenance of your home. It is where you live, because if you live in a flood zone, you're going to have to get flood insurance. In California, you're pretty much going to have to get earthquake insurance. That's extra fees, and you have to account for that. So you have to live within your means. And here's another thing that's happening in California right now. People are losing their home insurances because of the fires that we've been having. So now if you live in a high desired fire zone, you may not be able to get insurance on that home. It may cost you 4 times as much as it used to before those fires ripped through those areas. So this is something you have to take into account. I mean, this is things that we definitely cover in my courses that are totally free. And you ain't got to take it from me if you don't want to, but I urge you.
Take it from her.
Take something.
Let's just settle that now. Just take it from Lauren.
Kind of fun. You know what's even better is the ones that I have now. I'm in the process of re-recording because I've lost like 130 pounds. So like one of my clients was like, "Who's this woman?" Oh, that's me. But that was before I lost the weight. So you're gonna get the fluffy and the thinner Lala in those courses while I'm re-recording. Now, someone asked about a decent credit score. Your credit is very, very, very important because, guys, if you have bad credit, then they can offer you a higher interest rate on your loans, and therefore your home ownership payment is going to be much higher. A good base score, most of my lenders, and I have 3 or 4 of them that I trust, because you got to earn my trust before I give it to you, will say that a 620 is okay. As long as you don't have a lot of collections or things that you can't justify or clear up, and 620 is pretty good. They would love to see a 650 or more, but I also have a couple of lenders that will help you if you have a 550. Let me tell you how I feel about that, because I don't pull any punches with this. If you have a 550, please don't try to buy a home. Try to fix your credit first, so that you can get the better interest rate. Try to do your best to get it up to a 650, but a 620 to me is your lowest that you really should go.
Now we had on a past Women's Wednesday, we had a credit repair specialist that was trying to help the noisemakers, understand, for everybody tries to go through and try to, like, in other words, they're like, the way to clean it up is to just go and pay everybody that's on your, they're like, wait a minute.
Right.
Slow down, get you somebody that's going to help you repair it properly instead of
hurt yourself.
I'm trying to go through and, oh yeah, I had some debt back when I was in college. Let me, they're like, wait a minute. You need to slow down and negotiate some of this stuff. Some of this stuff you don't have to pay full price for.
That's right.
But there's because you're thinking repair means I just need to go through and wipe it out. And they're like, and you don't even get the benefits for that. They don't increase your credit because your credit rating because you went through and took a couple of thou wow and went and paid a whole bunch of little bitty bills.
That's right. And let me tell you something else. If you don't have the funds to help get credit repair, and there's a lot of bad credit repair out there, so make sure you're working with a good, reputable person. And I know y'all only have good people on here. So whoever that was, down to that person, okay?
Yeah.
But a good lender who is willing to help you do that will also help you. All three of my lenders will walk through your credit with you and say, okay, this is what I need you to do. All right, I need you to do this and this, and you need to do it in this order, and I'll help you do it to help you get into the right position. So don't try to do it on your own, because sometimes when you think you're helping yourself, you're ending up hurting yourself more.
Yeah. There's so, man, we could spend hours upon hours on this. I know we got but I got more questions, so I'm gonna ask them because you said you could stay.
I'm here.
I want to know, how does one, or how would you encourage someone to get in the real estate game, as they say? So if I have a business, which I do, but I say, man, this real estate thing, Lala makes it sound fascinating and interesting, and I can maybe help some people and also make some money, create another revenue stream. What would you tell the person to do as their first step to get into it?
The first step is to shadow someone, because you really need to see that this is not an easy job. I'm going to share something here that I don't share very often with people. I cried yesterday. I cried over a deal yesterday because I get so involved with my clients.
Wow.
And when they didn't get this one house that they really and truly wanted, I cried with them. This is a very emotional job. And maybe it's the little Pisces in me.
Could be that.
But I've actually grown men to do the same thing. When you care about your clients, you feel what they're going through. Try to shadow someone. Turn off the TV. Don't look at that crap on there, because it's not the truth. Look into some really good real estate schools. And there are many that are online. But if you're completely new to this game and you don't understand that you're going to be living off of a commission, or how you're going to structure yourself, because there's going to be lean times and fattening times, then you need to understand how you're going to balance those as well. How are you going to balance your clients? How are you going to give them the tools that they need? How are you going to pay for all of your association dues? It's not cheap to be an agent. It's feasible, but when that dude starts rolling around, especially if you license in 2 states, you're like, oh, ramen noodles this week, yeah, that sounds kind of good. So you have to
ramen noodles.
Look at the life, right? And then you actually can take the courses and not get the license if you don't want to. The courses are so affordable that you can just take a course on getting into real estate and then doing it. But then get yourself a good mentor. And I've had mentors. I still do. I still tap into people that know more than me, because I need their wealth. Always have a friend got a little bit above you, and then you have someone that's underneath you, so you can turn around and help them. You're helping each other in a circle. So first, get educated. Don't believe what you hear out here. There are a lot of agents right now who are getting in because they see it's a hot market and they think that they're going to make $1 million. And then they get in and they get out within the first 6 months. When I started in real estate in 2006, I started at Keller Williams because I loved their education. And I started with them. There were 26 agents that started with me. There's only 2 of us still in the business.
Oh, wow.
Over half of those people dropped out within the first six months.
Wow.
It's not easy, guys, because you got to front a lot of money before you make money. And it's not for the faint of heart. But most of all, never lie to people. If you don't think that you can handle this emotional thing, you don't need to be in this business. Because if you don't know something, or I don't know something, I will say, I don't know. Let me go check. I'm no shame in my game. I got to go find out. I'm learning like you on some things. But if you can't say that to people and you feel like you just have to give them an answer, whether it's wrong or right, this is not the business for you.
How long would you say? I'm assuming you could say this, but how long would you say it took for you to get your first sold house?
A year. And some people have sold much quicker than me, but we had just moved to Denver. I didn't know anybody. So that's when I was like, I gotta learn some kind of niche because I don't know what I'm doing. So after I got my license and took all of my KW classes, Keller Williams classes, that's when I really sat down. I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this thing? Because at first, if you don't have a guide, you're like, I'm not really sure what I need to do. Then when I found my niche, that's when I got my people.
So somebody going into this full time, is it safe to say you would suggest to them, you probably need to start under somebody, maybe get a little cushiony paycheck kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you're not taking the full blunt and weight of the responsibility. Because
Exactly.
where you are now is more, well, it's not even more, it's all entrepreneurial. So every part of this is on you at this point.
Yes, every part of this is on me now.
Which is a whole different monster than like you said, working for Keller Williams or this, Century 21. I'm dating. I'm dating myself now.
There's no shame in your game if you still need to work your 9 to 5. As long as you tell your clients and you're honest with them and you still can serve them. So maybe you don't take 5 clients at one time. Maybe you take 2.
Right.
So on the evenings, which is most of the times people are going to want to see the houses anyway, and the weekends, you can say, I have a 9 to 5, but I can answer my phone calls at noon and you build your business. Okay. You build your business that way. There are a lot of people who don't mind that, but in this market, they are going to be looking for agents that are full-time mostly because you have to be on it so fast.
Now, cuz is mentally. He said, what part of Denver did you live in? Because he lived in Colorado.
I lived in Westminster in between Boulder and Denver.
Are you satisfied, cuz?
And my son still lives there.
So still lives. Wow. So now let me ask you the $1 million question that me and Mama Noise want to know.
Yeah.
Real estate, selling real estate. Is it worth it? Is it rewarding?
It is if you want to put the hard work in. Let's face it. There are times where I do deals and I'm like, wow, that was pretty easy and I got a paycheck for that. And then there are times like now when the market is so crazy and I'm working with a buyer where at the end of the day and you get your paycheck, you're like, oh boy, this one, I earned this one and this one needs to stay in my pocket. Like I showed 50 houses in Jacksonville, Florida. Who does that? There's not very many agents that do that, but this is my good friend. And I want her to have a good experience. And she flew down here to do that. So it was big. So it was exhausted. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to balance the gas, the car, the overnight stay, the dinners. See, you can make lucrative money. You can make good money. But if you don't stay on top of your game and you let people fall by the wayside and you start being what they consider, oh, don't use that agent, it may not be that. You need to make sure that when you get into this, whether part-time or full-time, you're going to give it your full dedication. I know a cop in Denver who just started selling on his time off.
Wow.
That was his niche. He started selling to his other cop friends.
Cuz has 2 questions. What city are you working in now? And are you a buyer's agent or a listing agent?
I'm both. I am both. I'm an agent that does both. I have a listing that I'm getting ready to put here on in Florida. I am licensed in Florida, which means I could sell in any part of the state. I'm also licensed in California. Any part of California I can help you with. When you get your license, it's a state license. So I'm licensed in California and Florida. And I will be putting a listing on the market here in Florida next week.
You're literally coast to coast.
I am. I am.
Literally coast to coast.
I am. And you know what? It benefits me a lot too, because there are a lot of people leaving California because it's just too expensive and they can't.
It is expensive. It is expensive. We got acting friends, Kenyetta and I, who are trying to make it out there, and we look at them and go, I don't know how y'all doing it, because that's what planes are for, man. It's probably cheaper to just get a plane and fly out for any audition you need or whatever. And now auditions are virtual. So, you know, and that's probably not going to change for a while. So,
yeah, one of my friends, she decided to leave LA and she said she got residency in Las Vegas.
yeah.
And she said you could catch a flight. It's cheaper to catch a flight back and forth into Los LA whenever you need to, and then get out of Dodge and get back to Las Vegas.
Yes, it's so, and we've seen a lot of changes since being there. We've been there 13 years. When we first moved there weren't a whole lot of tent cities of homeless. Now, wherever you go, including Beverly Hills, y'all, let's be real. You're going to see tent cities. Now, they'll get them cleared out a little bit faster in Beverly Hills. But I actually had to stop running because I learned to run and jog. I had to stop running some of the places that I used to run because they became
wasn't safe.
And it wasn't safe.
Yeah. Wow. Is there an area of the country that you want to or wish you were in right now?
No, I think this is more personal. I think our country is in a lot of turmoil, and wherever you go, you're going to suffer a lot of that, especially if you're a person of color. I have found that to be true in Florida. And I have found that to be true in California, even though California is considered progressive, especially in these last 4 years. I've been called the N-word on how many times, or most of them think I'm Hispanic, or they'll call me something with that, and you just blink your eye. I don't really have a desired place in our country right now until our country heals. But I will go and serve wherever I need to serve. I am still a world citizen regardless.
Wow. I wish you lived in Texas.
I think that's why we keep getting questions from folks in Texas saying so.
Actually,
I have in Texas.
Fabulous agent in Texas that is my partner. Like I said, I have a partner everywhere. I mean, I have partners in all cities, and I'll make sure that you get a good person. And if you're not happy with that person, you come to me and I make it right. I try to work with people who work like me, and I have an excellent partner. I have a team now. I'm a team lead in California, and I have a great person because he works like me. You have to be around people who are equally yoked.
Yeah. Come on, preacher. I saw the preacher in you just now.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
All right, let's give out all the information because everybody wants to know where, no matter where they live.
They like Kentucky partner, please.
Yes, I got you. I'm actually getting ready to list one in Kentucky in a couple of weeks, I think.
Wow. All right, so here's what you do. If you wherever you are, if you're trying to get a good agent, Laura can hook you up. And or if you live in California, if you live in Florida, she's definitely got you. She can do it herself. She don't even need nobody. She can do it herself. But laurakey.net is the website to go to. And I think there's a contact us on there that you can reach her through that. This is going to get you to any and everything that is you need. The books, the classes, everything, the Instagram. I would say hit in the DM, but just do it above board because I don't want Will shooting you.
You're good. He sees everything. We're open. We're good.
Okay. All right. So you can hit in the DM, but if you hit in the DM from this program, let her know you're a noisemaker and that you heard it on this show. That way we know it's above board because the noisemakers are above board, but I just want to make sure ain't no thing. Plus, I
want to throw this out here because a lot of people don't take advantage with me, and I don't know why. But if you buy or sell with me, I will donate $100 to an organization in your name. And it could be any organization. It could be the Noisemakers.
Yay!
See? They want to know who your Kentucky partner is. They're ready to do business.
Yeah, well, her name is Wendy. So I'll give you more information on that if you DM me.
Hit DM, Ron. You know that's Ron from the show. So
Yeah,
Ron,
I got
Ron,
you.
yeah, Ron hit her up and get up. He said the DM hours are 9 to 5 only. That's
No,
also
that's one thing that people don't understand. He said 9 to 5. No, we work all the time. Now, me personally, I've learned to shut off my phone at 8 p.m. so I can have some hubby wife time and we can watch movies and have popcorn from Popcorn World.
you sell it. Selling it.
It's so addicting. I'm like,
Oh
it's
my!
time not to gain this weight back. But
Yeah, I'm
that
probably gonna
popcorn
put in
is
the
so
order for
good.
Derby.
I'm just saying.
You probably gonna
Listen.
put in the order for Derby for sure. I don't know.
I'm telling you, even now when the song comes on, I'm like,
She like, I need to order some popcorn.
But
Yeah.
you know, most of the time I'm pretty available.
Awesome. And I wasn't done. I don't know why I stopped. I think Ron, I got distracted by Ron's question, so that was good. Okay, but yeah, go here and you can get the books. You can get the Instagram, Facebook. There's all types of contact information. YouTube. Just you need to connect with her. This is one of the easiest ways to do it. So, but also you can go to the website and get it as well. But listen, you see what it is. She's amazing, and she's always been amazing coming on the show repping for the ladies. But we wanted to have her come on and just really show the level of brilliance that she possesses. She's not just some Rudy out here. She's got game, y'all. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And she's amazing. Hope you hit her up in the DMs because you had a lot of interesting questions. So she could probably help
have
you.
a lot of interesting questions.
Yeah,
But
she has.
if there's anything, guys, if there's anything I get across at all today, and I know we're trying to educate people. I really want you to understand. Don't you ever say I can't own a home. Yes, you can. And what it may not be that big $1 million mansion that you want to start out with, but it could be a little condo that gets you next to a townhome, that gets you next to a duplex, that gets you next to you can build your wealth. Don't you let anybody tell you can't. You just have to be willing to put in the work if you need to put it in there with your credit, with your loan, and your education. An educated buyer is the most priceless thing that you can have. So educate yourself.
And this is an educated teacher that's going to help you get ready. So I'm just telling you, this is we brought on high quality today.
High quality.
So y'all can have this this information that you need to get started. So Lala, you're amazing. You know that. I don't even tell you that. You know.
Thank you.
You're our sister and we love you and you just dope dope AF, as the kids would say.
I like that mogul part. I think we need to keep that on her because I heard her in the beginning. She said, trade school, and trade school always gets some type of has some type of stigma. But I disagree. I think that you like Dr. Laura. So I like that mogul. I like Dr. Laura.
I've gone out of my way over the last 10 years to try to dispel the stigma that our generation had around trade school because we were told a bill of goods. Like we were told, oh, trade school. It was the implication was that it was a failure of your public education, and that because you didn't study well or you didn't do this or you didn't do that, you had to settle for trade school. But the problem is, every time something breaks down in my house, I'm calling somebody from trade school. Every time I need to make a major move in my life, like real estate or like insurance, these guys that are coming out of trade school situations. So the truth is, it's not less. It has never been less than. It has always been just a different path.
But then we talk about public perception.
Yeah.
People are fickle. You have to open your mind. Not every kid needs to go to a 4-year college.
Facts. That's huge facts. And we got to stop telling our children that lie. Like that's a lie. It's been a lie. It's always going to be a lie. It's not for everybody. It's not everybody's path. And education now more than ever is the path to great education can come from several different roads. So you just have to figure out what road you best travel, what best way. And by the way, I struggle tremendously telling any child to go to get some 4-year education and pay this goo gobs of money to come out and get a $30,000 to $40,000 a year job. That doesn't make any sense. The math is wrong with that. So that's what I'm saying. We got to do a better job of helping our kids and helping young people and adults as well find the right paths for their journey.
That's right. My son went to hair school. I'm telling you, he's busy. He's got his own business. He done runway. He does weddings, and he wasn't a 4-year college kid. Who cares? He's happy in what he's doing.
There you go.
And I just stop telling these kids this mess. We don't have to do that. You be you, and stop trying to please somebody else.
You know, I told one of my friends, I said, this guy I know was saying he was going to trade school because he wanted to be an air conditioned, whatever they're called, the people that maintenance air conditions. And I said, that is fantastic. I said, because guess what? It doesn't matter. Like you said, you got millionaires over here, thousandaires, hundredaires. Everybody needs some air conditioning.
That's right.
Somebody gonna need, thank you, Jay, the HVAC, those people that maintain those type of units and stuff. Hey, as soon as, it doesn't matter what the lucrative things we have going on, please believe if there's a problem with the air conditioning, everything stops and everybody's looking for the person who can fix it. So,
and let me tell you who's racking up right now. Home contractors, electricians, plumbers. Are you kidding me? I can't even get a survey guy right now. So I'm sorry, Miss Key, I can't get you for 6 months. I'm busy. Oh, okay. You can't tell me if my fence is on the wrong side. I gotta wait for 6 months. That's trade school. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing for you about that.
$2,700 per house.
Wow.
That's right.
Shout out to trade school. Okay, we got to go. Lala, you're amazing again. Listen, to Ron's point, if you want to pull up for Uncorked Wine, you can. I mean, that's a very different show. Yeah.
They be saying they need they need more estrogen. They need more estrogen. And see, I can't just, I got to get the special kind. Like she said, I only rub elbows with those people.
You're going to say too much. I can feel it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. No, I'm saying she said that she rock with people that are just like her and have the same energy. And I'm saying she's got the same energy that
I'm just saying, watch it. There's a line. Don't look down. Just look down where you are.
You guys are so great. Y'all don't sound like me and Will.
No, I'm just saying because you can tell, you can feel it. Like as a husband, you can feel it. You like, ooh, really? This is. I gotta stop her. Let me stop her.
Yeah, I hear Will right now, baby.
Yeah. She's right there.
Yes.
And I can see it, and I just want you did good though. I'm proud of you. All right, real quick, so church announcements. We got the fantasy show tonight. Y'all don't want to miss that. That's gonna be amazing. Cause I'm gonna save my team tonight. And then we're going to talk some NBA playoffs. And then, of course, I'm getting with my man Charlie Ward and Kendrick Haskins to do our version of the Fantasy Draft Show. And we're going to be talking about the defensive side of the ball because the draft is tomorrow. Shout out to the young John Alexander, who we pray and hope for a drafting situation for him. We're hoping that tomorrow's a happy day. Or the next few days is a happy day. I'll say it that way. But we're excited to see what happens with that young man. But anyway, that's what's going on. And then, of course, Black Friday will be tomorrow night, even though it's Thursday, because we're off on Friday. So just FYI, just FYI to everybody coming through. That's funny. Yeah, I guess he could do that if he wanted to. Okay, that's it. That's all we got. Mama Noise, am I forgetting anything? Are we good?
No, I think you have everything.
Okay, then. Well, with all minds are clear.
Oh my gosh.
We thank the guest evangelist
Yeah.
Laura Key for coming in and blessing us.
I mean, she
with
is
such
a
mighty
plethora,
word.
a plethora of information. Listen,
We didn't listen. Let me tell you how good this show was today. We didn't even give a call to worship. This was like a midday Bible study.
I'm just saying.
Plus, white organist is working right now, so he worked well because we flipped the shows. You know, we don't normally do. So he took a day job. He was like, "Well, if I ain't got to work during the day, I'll just work. You know, I'll go play for somebody." And I was like, "That's fine." But he can't use the keyboard. I told him that. I don't care.
Oh,
Cause he be trying to. It's a long story, Lord. I don't even want to bore you with it, but he's a lot. He can be a lot sometimes. Okay. With that being said, y'all have a blessed day. We gotta let Laura go sell some houses. We out this piece.